What's up, guys? This is your girl Miss Dre Be Natural, back with another video. Before I get into part 2 of the plus size knit cardigan, I just wanted to first show you guys the knit stitch that I use. The name of the knit stitch that I use to create the back and 2 front panels is the brioche stitch. Now in my first video I called it the faux brioche stitch, but I couldn't find the other name for it, so I'm just going to tell you that it's the easier way that I found to do the brioche stitch. But it basically is the brioche stitch and it looks the same, so we're just going to go with that. Now I'm going to do another video on how you do your gauge and everything like that, but for the purposes of this video, this is just going to be a tutorial in case you want to go back and you want to work up the cardigan or something similar to it. And I wanted to go ahead and just put this one out there before I go ahead and do the edging and the sleeves of the sweater. So for this project, of course, you're going to just need the yarn and you're going to need the knitting needles. I'm using the size 8 circular knitting needles that I talked about in part 1 of the knit cardigan video. So I'm just going to go ahead and use those needles. Basically, and I said this is a project, but basically this is just a little sample. So I'm just going to go ahead and cast on 10 loops, and I'm just going to do this as if you already know how to do this stitch. So hopefully whoever's watching, hopefully this will be easy enough for you to follow what I'm doing, and I can go back later on and do videos where I actually break down the stitches in a more beginner friendly manner. So I'm going to stop talking now and I'm just going to knit. Okay, so I have my 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do the sample ribbing first and then get into the actual stitch. So for my ribbing, I basically did 2 knits, 1, 2, and then 2 purl. It's a little, sometimes it could be a little tight on the first row. 2 knit, 2 purl, and we're just going to do that for the remaining of the stitches. I personally like to begin with 2 knit if it's an even number of loops, so I can end with 2 knit, but it's all up to you. You can start with purl, whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. Again, because this is going to be like a reversible garment. Well, this is a reversible pattern. Oops, now see, I just did that wrong, you guys. I started off with my 2 knit, but the thing is, once you flip it to the other side, then I need to be doing 2 purl. So I need to bring my yarn to the front here. And I need to start the second row with 2 purl. So I'm only going to do like 3 or 4 rows of the ribbing, just to try to keep this video short. And so you get the idea of what I did to get the front and back panels of in part 1 of the knit cardigan. And this is what I'm going to do for the sleeves. I'm going to do the border probably like this. I'm gonna do my edging in this manner, but the sleeves will be the brioche stitch. Now I do have to stress the importance when you're actually going to make a piece for yourself to wear. You do need to, like all the other YouTube videos say, you do need to do a gauge swatch. I learned the hard way a couple times. This is not like knitting where you can just measure your waist and divide it, or however you want to do it, and just create a chain that's the length of the measurement that you measured out. You actually have to do a swatch for this because it depends on your needle size and the size of the yarn that you're using. It really can affect the garment that you're making, because you may not need as many stitches if you use a bigger needle and a thicker yarn, and vice versa. So I have learned that the hard way, and that is my advice to you if you're going to do this. And I will do a swatch, a gauge video before I start my next project. We'll upload my after the part 2 of the cardigan. Okay, so I'm going to stop here with the ribbing. You guys pretty much can get an idea of what is going on with that. And I'm pretty sure I'll be using this ribbing technique again, so you will see it again. Okay, now we're going to get into the actual brioche stitch. So what I like to do personally is I just like to knit across the whole row. No knit and purl, just knit all 10 stitches. That one slipped off. Put that back on there. It's my stitch, you guys. I do this a lot. This is okay if it slips. Just put it back on. It doesn't want to go. Okay, there we go. It's okay to make mistakes sometimes. I make a lot of mistakes in knitting, but it's okay. It can be fixed as long as you don't get too far ahead. That's I've gotten really far in projects and decided that, oh, I'm going to do something new, or I'm going to take it all out. So I hope you guys aren't like me, but if you are, it's okay. Okay, so now that I have knit across the whole row, flip my work, and I'm going to start with, now once I get past the edging and then my row of knit on the other side, on the purl side, I'm just going to take, the way I like to do my edge is I just slip the first stitch off, and then I'm going to do a purl first. And if you wanted to do a knit first, that's fine, however you want to do it, but I'm going to start with a purl. And then right here, not in the loop here, but hope you guys can see, right underneath of the loop, I'm going to go in that little hole and grab the yarn, and then I'm going to slip the stitch off, and then I'm going to do another purl, and then I'm going to go back in that hole can see right here in that hole, go in, grab, pull through, slip off. Then I'm going to do another knit, and this is what we're going to do across the row. Rotate, knit, and this is still kind of like a knit stitch. It's just that we're going in, and if you can't see it, that one's a little tight. You just want to go in that hole there, pull through. If it just slips off, just put it back on. Again, I'm gonna go right through that hole and just pull that other loop off. And then I'm actually gonna end with a knit stitch on. When it comes to the brioche stitch, I'm gonna end with a knit stitch. Just because I want my rows to just end like that, so personal preference. So once I flip it, again, I'm just gonna pull this first one off. I'm not gonna knit or purl it. And then this is a knit, this is a purl stitch. So I'm gonna purl. And then I'm gonna go right through this hole right there and pull that through. And then I'm going to knit. Excuse me, that was a purl. And then this is a knit. Purl. Knit. Purl. I'm sorry guys if I'm out of focus. I'm trying to make sure that you see what I'm doing and stay in the camera. Sometimes it could be a little tight to get in there, and I'll do another video with better yarn. But just so you get the idea, in case you want to try to do this on your own, make the sweater. So again, one more row, we're gonna slip, and then this is a knit. A purl, excuse me. It's late, you guys, I'm sorry. Go in that hole. So as the more rows, the more brioche rows you do, the bigger the holes will be, and you can actually see where you need to actually go. So it does get a little easier as you do each row. And I'm just gonna do a couple more rows for you guys. Now I only slip the first stitch of the beginning of each row, not the last stitch, if you notice. And that's gonna make a difference. So when I go and sew up the sides, it just makes it easier for me to it just gives me a nice little edge for when I go and just put everything together and sew. So you can totally do something different. If you have another method, that's totally fine. That's just the technique that I like so far, and I do switch up my technique, so this is just what I like for this particular project. So slip, purl, knit. Purl knit. And so, and that's it. That's just really easy. It works out really fast. The bigger the needle, of course, the faster it's gonna work up. And this is you guys, this is a 5 bulky yarn, so that definitely helps the project work up as well. And I don't know if I said it in my first video, but I did get this yarn from AC Moore, where I live. The store was going out of sale, was going out of business or closing, just that particular store, not the whole chain. And I got it on sale. It was like 30% off for like $5.99 or $7.99, something like that. So if you can find it in your store, the color is Riddle. So Premier Puzzle yarn. And I had some other colors too. They had some really pretty colors. So I liked the Premier Puzzle. I was really impressed with it. I am not a representative of Premier Yarn, but I do happen to like this brand, and I will recommend it to you because I like it. Okay, and this is going to be my last row because this is just a little tutorial. I mean, a little how to do this, just so you can know how to do this stitch. So that's all this video was meant for. It's just a little sample video, rather. If I can get this last stitch, okay. So I kind of like to spread it out once it's on the needle. So if you guys can see, this is how it's going to look. And I'm going to just go ahead and take it off the needle. Won't hurt. So if you can see. So that's pretty much the brioche. This, of course, it looks better as you, and I probably should have cast off so you can see. So I didn't cast off. I should have did that. But basically, that's it. And it's totally reversible. So that's it for this video, you guys. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for part 2 of the plus size knit cardigan, where we're going to complete the cardigan by adding the sleeves and the edging. Thanks for watching again. See you soon. Bye.